everyone, and welcome back to my channel here on YouTube. My name is Patrick Lee Grooves. We're going to have a really loose day's painting today. I'm really in the mood. I've found an old sketch that I painted. I painted this about a year or two ago. Okay, this is the image I'm talking about. It's of some fishing boats, but it's not so much about what the painting is, but it's about how we create the light within the painting, and that's what we're looking to do. I won't be slavishly following this. I might change it a little bit, but overall it's going to be very much the same colours. It's going to be a very simple list of colours to paint this. They'll be under the video as well, what list I use, so you can have a look. Okay, so this will be you'll be able to find this on my Facebook page if you want to use it as a reference image to paint it afterwards, by all means. And the link again for my Facebook page will be under the video. So yeah, thank you. But I really want to. This one's all about light. I'm into the idea of using the dry brush technique, creating more light in my paintings, and using more colour and shadows and things like that. Not just relying on cool blues and mauves and greys. I want to start adding more colour to my shadows and making the paintings more lively. So this one's all about that, really. It's going to be, I'm going to narrate it also. I haven't done this one for a long time, but I'm going to narrate it as I paint. So that, at times it could be a little bit disjointed maybe with what I'm saying, but I hope you enjoy it. And I promise. I must apologise for the last video. A lot of people messaged me to say that I forgot to edit a part out, and I do apologise about that. You caught me at a bad moment, so I am sorry, but I promise I've been very thorough on this one, and there's nothing there to worry about. So let's kick back and enjoy, really. And then don't forget to leave any comments underneath the video. There'll be some links under the videos, my Skillshare courses, which are much more detailed than my YouTube courses, obviously. The actual commentary and everything is much more detailed, and the exercises and stuff like that. So if you're interested in finding out my Skillshare courses, there's a link under the video. Have a look at it. Apart from that, just sit back and enjoy the video, and yeah, I hope you learned something from it. Don't forget, leave comments if you do. Bye for now. Get myself a nice warm sky, because I want the sky to look like it's got a bit of a glow in it. So I'm just going to get some warm colours together. So I've got some yellow ochre, there's some burnt sienna already left in there, and what else might I put? That's a bit, put a bit of cadmium orange in there. Now we're going to put in the sky a little bit of this pinky colour, just to take the yellow out of it a little bit. Okay, let's get going. That's nice, got a little bit of green in there, quite like that on the sky. I'll work my way down the page. I'm going to go a little bit cooler as I go towards the horizon. Down over those buildings. On this side I want to have these in kind of shadow, so I'm just going to drop some cool bluey greys in the background. Just here. I'm using my Cotman flat brush. I want to warm it up as it comes over this side, and as it comes down the bottom I'll have a bit more warmth in it down here for the buildings. That's where the buildings are going to be there. So we're going to get rid of all this white paper in one go, basically. Another little bit. So I'm just going to go over this side of that, put a bit of shadow colour in there. A bit more warmth down here in the water. Just grab that colour. So this is staining all the paper, and it's going to take that horrible intimidating, there's a bit of shadow colour just on this side of that. I want to make sure I preserve my whites though, which I nearly didn't then. So I'm thinking about my white paper as we did when we did the wave. I'm thinking about how to preserve my whites. Before I start introducing some blue, down the bottom. And you're probably thinking this to yourself, oh, it's looking a mess at the moment. But hopefully some nice warm colours in here now, because we're going to take on the reflections of these boats later in this part. Right, I want some nice chrome orange just at this stage for my boat here. Wow, I love that chrome orange. Such a cool colour. That's not, it's a warm colour. And we're going to have the next one next to it. It's going to be cad red. So I'm just going to put some cadmium red in with the chrome orange. And I'm just going to paint that in really loosely there, just like that. I don't mind if it runs into the boat opposite. And I want to paint that key side while that's still going. Get that warm colour in there because the sunshine is hitting the key side there. Okay, so we've got that first wash in, and breathe again and kind of just go, oh wow, we've got that first wash in. We can relax, let that dry, and then come back and carry on with the rest of it. See what happens. Okay, I'm going to change over to this little flat brush for a while just to do this background, and to put some of these houses in the back. Can you see my palette? Yes, you can. There's my trusty Chinese brush, the one that I can't place on Amazon at the moment. I can't find the exact brush on Amazon. A bit concerned about that, really, because some of them aren't very reliable. Some of them they're cheap, and I find the bristles come out. So I've just got a little pool of colour going on there. I've got some blue, some pinky sort of magenta colour, some little bit of orange going, cadmium orange and burnt sienna going on with some green. And I'm just going to use that pool of colour to intermix for the background here at the moment. I want to just think what I'm doing. That's my biggest problem when I paint, is not thinking. There's some rooftops up here, but I'm not trying to paint them exact. I'm just going to put them in a bit hickledy-pickledy. I'm changing the colours around a bit from my reference image. I don't want to be feeling I've got to slavishly follow that. It gets a bit boring. Let's have a bit more warmth up here. I just want to misty that out a bit in places. Just going to drop some clear water on the top. There's a little bit of light hitting there. So just, you know, just get the feel going and work your way down, because you can always go back to it and build some more detail in later. It's just an impression of the background we're after. We don't want the background to take over at all. Let's get there's some little high points here. Break up that top. That's it. Okay, then as I come across here, it's starting to warm up a bit. Bit more blue in there, a bit more of the magenta colour. And when I I like that bit of magenta, the way it's just mixed on the page, I'm just going to make sure I capitalise on that and leave it. I don't want to be blending it in. There's some nice rooftops there, I know. Got a bit muddy there with the colour, so I've got to try and drop some. If the muddy goes colour, I just try and drop some. If the colour goes muddy, sorry, I try and drop some fresh colour into it to bring it back to life a little bit, and then later we'll go back into that and we'll just pull out some detail. We've got our darts to go in yet, and this is just our second wash of colour. Okay, so a long time since I've done an actual sort of talking tutorial as I've painted. It takes an awful lot. There's nothing easy about it. It takes a lot of concentration to be able to sort of talk and paint at the same time. And yeah, so bear with me if I go silent or I'm heavy breathing and all that stuff. It's because I'm concentrating so hard. I'll put those little chimneys in now. Right, I'm going to swap over to this brush now because I don't want the foreground to get too popping a little bit of green in there, the yellow, bit of blue, cobalt blue, and a little bit of magenta colour. Just get that. Don't mix it all together. Keep it in the palette a bit separated, and then just pick up bits of the colour as you're going along. Keep it fresh if you can. I'm not getting that yellow. I want that yellow. Show the green. That's just there. We'll just take that off the page. Put some orange in there. Some windows in. But as I always sort of talk about, the way you can get ultimate pleasure out of your painting is to just not be too serious about it, and to try and enjoy it really, and just relax into it. If you can relax into it and don't care what the result's going to be, I generally find, not always obviously, you get a better result, and you kind of come back and just draw some detail into that later. There. So dry it. Put some windows in here. Big building. Bit of cobalt blue in there, a bit more magenta. Some days I always find I don't know if it's obviously just a psychological thing, but I actually feel I just have better luck mixing colours. Okay, right, I'm just going to leave that for a minute, and then we're going to come back to the background when it's dry. We're going to just move on to the boats. Bit of orange, bit of yellow. So we've got some cadmium orange and some, what I think must be lemon yellow. There, we want that one. Really, actually no, I'm going to go more of a real zingy bright on here. Really want that to pop out. Right, just put a little bit of red. The same goes round. Top of there. So I'm just putting some bright colours in now, so I don't end up painting over the paper later, and then sort of obliterating the colour basically, a bit obliterating colour. So that's got some bright stuff in the back here. Not sure what it is. When you can't make out what stuff is, just draw the shapes. If you see something and it's colourful, just draw in the shape of the colour, and don't even try and work out what it is, because it just, you know, you're just wasting your time. The dry brush there. See, there's a wall there, sea wall of some description. Okay, so let's put in, again we're going to do that with some dry brush. I want it, because the light's hitting it straight down like that, I want to get it looking like this. Now we're going to put some shadow in here on this boat. So I want to mix some real bright orange, some cadmium red, and I'm just going to add, when I start painting it on, I'm just going to add some dark colours into it. Let it bleed into that, and then we'll just get some blue and brown, so it goes really nice and rich. And blue down here. There's such a lot of going on with the reflections here. That was a bit of a mistake because I didn't want that there, but I can't do much about that now, so I'm going to go with it, and it's just what it is. Just some red paint there. Flick it on. Just want to get some texture going. Okay. Then we're going to have another shadow come through here in a bit, so don't worry about that there. It's all going to be balanced at the end. We'll have some shadow in there. Now we're going to do some shadow down this side of the boat. So I'm going to mix some nice cadmium red, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just put some pure cadmium red on there. Then I go into a darker mix of blues and everything, and browns, and I'm just going to put that into the red. There's a bit more warmth in there. Some really, because that is going to be all lost in shadow eventually. I want to remember my dry brush, which I was talking a lot about before, the importance of keeping your colours really keeping that dry brush going. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Keeping your colours really the dry brush going, because that's what adds the interest to your painting. It's the varied textures and things going on like that. We'll come back in and we'll put the shadow in that boat in a little while when that's dry. Right, I'm going to paint in the cabin windows now, and I don't want them all cold greys. You often see people just get some Payne's grey now and fill in the windows. What we want to actually do is keep the windows glowing, where you've got the reflected light in the glass. So we're just going to, like I say, use dry brush and pick up some of the colours that are in the boat and put into the windows. We can always go back and add some cooler, darker colours later. And don't paint everyone the same colour. Try and vary the colours in the windows, and a bit of broken dry brush work in it works wonders. Yeah, so keep your colours as warm. Don't rely on just like dull colours like Payne's grey to put in windows and things like that. What a lot of beginners do. Easy to do. These are very much warmer colours I'm putting in. Trying to keep the painting as lively. This is because after my break from painting, I kind of wanted to come back and just really do something different. I didn't want to come back and do the same thing. And let's paint it again in the same way. Well, it is very much the same. You can't get away from the way you paint. It's kind of, that's it. But this one's got a black painted side on it. We'll just go with that. Right, I'll let that dry a minute and come back to it. Okay then, that's now dried. I've come back to look at the, I've had myself a cup of coffee. I've come back and looked at the painting and I realised, oh my God, I made a right mistake there. I'm not pleased with the colour choices. The shadow colour should be warmer. It's just too black and cold. But we're going to go with it. We're going to see what happens, and we're not going to worry about it. Hopefully we can, maybe even at the end of the day, we can find ways of making that a bit better. So, but we won't worry about it. Okay. Right. So now we're going to put the shadow in that runs down this side here. And for that, I'm going to start. In fact, I'm going to put this. Yeah, I'm going to start making these shadows really interesting. So I'm going to get some nice blue. So nice cobalt blue. I think that is. You get some cerulean blue. Get some colour up there. It's gone a bit hard. That I've used it for a while. So I'll lift it straight out of there. Some more red. Make a nice colour. And some nice dark blue. Okay, right, burnt sienna. Okay, right. So I want to keep these colours now. It's really important. I don't want to just make one dark shadow. I want to kind of keep the colours as interesting as I can. It's a nice shadow that runs across there. It's got a little bit of something's going on here. We've also got, which you've got to bear in mind, water line where the antifoul is. So we'll do that like in a dry brush stroke. Okay, so we put the shadow in there. Again, I hope that's not going to go too dark. And before it does, I'm just going to get a bit of blue and put a bit of blue in it, like that, and a neat bit of red. Just getting a bit of red on my brush and putting that in there. Let that spread out a minute, see what happens with that. Now we're going to go into the water, and I'm going to take it down with some cool colour. But I'm also going to add some warm to it, and I'm letting them all mix on the page. A bit more red, because obviously we want that. Mixing my colours a bit, not too well. A bit more red, so it's showing the reflection of the boat. And at this stage, I don't mind if this doesn't really work out or not. I'm using this. I'm really enjoying painting this. And it's just, you know, it will be what it is. So go down and run up into that shadow in a minute. Yeah, I like that. That's looking nice. I don't know if you can see it on the camera quite as well, but a bit of orange on that one as we come out here, because we're picking up more of the orange of the boat. We're just going to do that. Yeah, okay, I'm quite happy with that. Quite happy with that. Bit of blue in there. A bit of movement. Now I want some nice dark colour again. Just to mark the wall. And I'm just going to take it in a bit where we've got some little chips in the wall, like that. Get some red. That's better. Get a little bit of neat orange and red on my brush. I'm just going to flick it a bit more carefully. Just want to get a little bit of something going on there. And there's a shadow, I'm going to put the shadow in that runs across here. Okay, for that I'm going to use cerulean blue. And I want it quite warm. And the shadow that runs across here. Lots of blue in it. Edge of the page. I don't know what's causing that shadow because it's off the page, but there we go. Right. Now what we want to do is put in the dry brush, that area in there, that area. Okay, so I'm going to keep that really simple, it comes kind of through there. And then we've got a shadow that runs under here. And again, we mustn't forget we want to keep the red in it. So should have put some more shadow in here when it was. But what we'll do is we'll just. There we go. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. So we're doing a lot of mixing of colours on the page, and it's given us some really nice effects. We'll just pick up a little bit more orange on our brush, because as we work on the whole painting, parts of it change and need rebalancing. So we just need to just put a little bit of shadow there, just build up some. Build up some depth. There we go. Okay. Right. So overall, so far I'm quite pleased with this. Put a bit of blue. A little bit of a something running under here. A bit of something going on the water, a bit of movement in the water. I'm not really worried about what the colours are. Probably should be, but I'm really just enjoying being really relaxed with the painting. Just adding some little ripples in. There. Right. I think we're going okay. Right, we've got some shadow we've got to put in just down here. Must be being caused by that boat. There, we've got a bit more richness of shadow under there. And again under there. Now we've got to put in the kind of, I don't call it a mast, but it's all the rigging gear for when they're out at sea. But my arm these days, I guess it's the thing as we all get a bit older, doesn't stay, doesn't let me do it like I used to, so I'm just going to use this to draw it in, just to support myself a bit. So if you get the shakes a little bit, there's nothing to do with not having a drink today. This kind of just steadies my arm a little bit. Helps to, I'm just suggesting the supporting guides that come down off here. Actually, there's a bit of blue on there, we'll put a bit of blue on there. Nice. Bit of blue on there. So the overall look of this painting, it was quite a quick painting to paint, but it's been a bit of shadow down here. It really has been a fun, very loose watercolour, and I've given you live commentary because people asked for it. They said, oh, we prefer the live commentary, don't talk over your videos. Well, I can't guarantee that I won't be doing more talkovers because it allows me to concentrate more for more detailed paintings and paintings that are a bit more challenging. So that sometimes is just a necessity. I'm not good enough in that sense to be able to concentrate too much. A little bit, suggest some detail on these that are sort of washed out by the lights. Just a bit of suggestion really. I don't want to do too much on that. There's a little must be a life buoy or something else on there. And then there's some bit of detail going on. But I'm going to call it about it really. I'm not going to do much more because quite honestly I don't think it can be I personally, you know, I can do much else with it, and I think often if you just sit there kind of like pouring away, you know, painting away, you then you overwork it and you lose what you did have, which was the freshness and the spontaneity and the light. This painting wasn't really about like a detail and things like that. It was, you know, it was more about the light and what's going on that way. But the most important thing is that you learn what I'm really trying to demonstrate in this painting is just about being, I was really trying to paint as freely and as loosely as I can and talk at the same time and give you an idea of what I'm doing. So okay, right, I've taken the tape off from around the sides just to make it look a bit cleaner, the painting. Overall, quite pleased with it. I thought it was a great exercise in loose painting. If I look very closely at these areas, I don't know if you're going to get this on the camera very well, but what I did, I dropped the pure red in to these washes. So I laid the wash down, then I dropped some colours straight in. It really helps to unify that area of the painting and gives it a little bit more of a, well, just makes it look looser, I suppose. I love that. I like the dry brush in the windows, and as I was saying about using warm colours in the windows, don't just use cold greys and blues. You know, the glass of the cabin windows will reflect all the warm colours around it as well. So, and it just brings that little bit more life to your paintings. The background I left very loose, very suggestive, but I like that, you know, I'm pleased with that. And the water here, I've got this lovely viridium which I dropped into the water here, and as it came out I put some red in, and then as it moved more towards the light I started to introduce some of the oranges to reflect the colour out of the boat here into the water. And that's about all I've got to say about it really. It's a nice little painting. I did my best in narrating it to you as I was painting, so I hope you've got something from that and you've enjoyed it. So thanks ever so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe and turn your notifications on for more videos, and yeah, come back for more. So thanks very much for watching, and bye for now.